Hi everyone, and welcome to another video, and welcome to the Long Ash car park in Totnes. So we're on the sunny riverbanks of Totnes, and it's Happy Friday. So I thought, you know what, it's a lovely end of the week video. We're not going to talk about work, we're not going to talk about jobs, and I thought, you know, this is the video kind of, hello mate, hello. I wanted to kind of formally introduce you guys to Sam and to this lovely dog. But before I do that, I can just hear a boat going past. I'm just going to show you where we are. So excuse me a sec, excuse Sam. So this is a lovely view. There's the Dartmouth riverboat. You can do some nice cruises from here. And it's actually turned out to be a really lovely day. It's this morning, it was absolutely chucking it down with rain. Still a little bit of rain around, and there's some lovely walks, and I'll just show you out that window. There you go. So we're kind of right in the bottom of the car park, and let me just get that positioned. So yeah, I thought I would take this opportunity to do this video for you guys, and what I want to try and do is just talk about Sam, and yeah, talking about you. I knew. And in the next part, in the same video, but a little bit further on, I'm gonna put some pictures up of him, and I think doing that will give you a bigger picture of just kind of what he's about. But anyway, so this is Sam. He's a 9-year-old Labrador crossed with Staffy, and honestly, you know, if I could win the lottery with getting a dog, this is it. I remember when I first decided that I kind of wanted a dog, and a Labrador was on my list. I kind of always just wanted a black Labrador, and so I kind of went on to a couple of websites and whatnot. But anyway, I kind of sent this couple a message. A couple of guys were down in Cornwall that couldn't look after this little 4-month-old dog any further, because they were unfortunately going into accommodation where they just couldn't the accommodation they were going into was not kind of pet friendly or dog friendly and whatnot. So I gave him a nice donation, and he was 4 months old, and I remember just picking him up in my arms in a blanket and bringing him back to my house. And yeah, he's a cracking dog. He's so, just his temperament is, he's so easygoing, so laid back. He's a bit mischievous and a bit cheeky at times, and he just, you know, this is what he loves to do. He just loves relaxing, and he loves chilling out. Here, mate. He loves the sun. He loves just basking in the sun, and I'm often having to say to him, shade, and he gets up and goes right in the shade to, you know, to cool off and whatnot. He's not a fan of water, unless we're in there. And I ain't getting in that. Not without at least a 20 mil wetsuit. And but yeah, he's not a big lover of water, I must admit. He doesn't really like even the rain. In a moment, I think we'll head off into town, and we'll just go for a little wander and just find somewhere. You know, I love taking him places where there's lots of people, because he laps up the attention. He loves it. He loves the interaction with people, and I think he just gives people so much joy, and when they meet him, and I thought, I kind of what are you doing there? Are you having a nice snooze, mate? And but he's so funny. But I must admit, there was a I've got a video that I want to show you guys, and because about a month ago he was quite sick, and I couldn't work out what was going on, because his diet normally consists of a little bit of dry food, not a lot, but it's kind of like chicken breast, kind of chicken thighs, and minced beef, and that sort of thing. And all of a sudden, he just started getting really upset tummy, and it was you know, his whole kind of demeanour was just completely flat, and I just knew there was something not quite right. And there was one particular day or evening that he didn't come up to bed. He's normally on the sofa, and I kind of say to him, "Come up when you're ready," and I just let him do his own thing, and he didn't come upstairs. And it was like I got up in the morning, went downstairs, and he was in his cage, and he's got a cage. And I'll get to that in a minute. And but I just thought that was the point where I just thought, you know what, I've got to take him to the vets. And yeah, they gave him some anti-sickness injection and some stuff to settle his tummy, and to the tune of about 250 quid. But I thought, you know what, I can't leave him ill. And so the vets, I don't know what's going on there, but hopefully this will help. And it was only till I looked in the cat bowl, and I looked at the cat bowl, and it was absolutely spotless. There was no food. It was like you could eat your dinner off it. And I thought, that's unusual, because the cat, aka Smelly Cat, and you know, Skippy, lovely little cat, and she doesn't smell. She's just super nice. and yeah, he's aka Smelly Dog, and no, he doesn't smell. He is just, look at this. Hey buddy, you love your tummy rubbed, don't you? And it was only till we put up some cameras and we hid her food. We took it upstairs and we put it under the bed and thought, oh, he can't get to that. He's too big. He won't be able to get under. And he did. And I'll show you the video just now of him sneaking in. And cat food and dogs, as far as I know, it's not great. It's so rich in the protein or something, but apparently it can cause problems with the liver and all sorts. But we've nailed it. We found the issue. We found what the problem was, and it's been resolved. Fabulous. So the major incident has been rectified, and we've actually put like a little kind of belt on the door, so Skippy can come out, but he can't get in. So it's been working a treat. We've been trying that, and he can't get in there. And I know, yeah, I'm talking about you. He's got this little itchy bit here. Look at his leg. Is that a little sensitive bit? He is funny. It's just he loves it. He loves the attention, and it's just I just love spending time with him, and he's like an angel without wings. And you know, as many as you, I imagine a lot of you kind of can relate to just the joy and the what having a dog kind of brings. You know, it's he just calms me, and I calm him. And what, do you know what? One of the things I love about this dog is his sense of absolute control when he's outside with him, when I'm walking with him. And he does he has been attacked a few times by other dogs, and even smaller dogs. And you know what? He just sits there, and he just he doesn't even bat an eyelid. And I admire his level of control in that situation. He doesn't lose his rag. He doesn't lose his temper. There was only one incident that I can recall where he gave a dog a warning, and that was when he did his cruciate ligament. Now, I think it was this right leg here. So basically, because he's a lab staffy, he's very top heavy, and his little legs are the knee joints are quite weak, and he loves going mental. And he did loads of zoomies and that sort of thing, and one day he just started limping and holding not like a little limp. This was a serious limp. So So I took him to the vet, and they gave me two options, and they confirmed that he's ruptured his cruciate ligament. This was about 6 years ago, and they gave me the cheap option, which, believe it or not, a cheap option was 1,200 quid, and and that cheap option was a fix, but it was more like a short-term fix. But there's another option which was to the tune of 2.5k. You could buy years ago. You could buy a house for that, couldn't you? 2.5 grand. Wow. But I thought, you know what? I wanna give him the best treatment and the best success rate. And so I went for it. I took the dive and got his legs sorted, and he was kind of. It took him 7 to 9 months to recover, and they advised me to get a crate, and all his leg, I think I've got some pictures coming up at the end of this video of it just wrapped up in a bandage, and we had to get a crate for him to keep him from jumping or going up the stairs or anything. Yeah, I know, I'm talking about you, going up the stairs, that sort of thing. But obviously I had to, you all right? I had to, do you want your pillow? There, here's your pillow, mate. I had to obviously, take him out for a wee and all that sort of stuff. So I kind of, where I was living at the time, we had a kind of nature reserve just down the road from us, so that was ideal. So I took him down just a few hundred yards, and he was kind of, I didn't let him off the lead, and I was just sat. This other dog came up, and he just started growling, and I kind of put myself between Sam and this other dog so he wouldn't approach him. But I think it was because obviously he's in pain. He was injured. He was and felt kind of vulnerable at that point. So I imagine that was obviously his defence. Apart from that, there's been no other incident really. I mean, so there was only it just sprung to mind. There was one other incident which was quite funny. And I used to keep hens where I used to live before, and I had do you remember the hens? You didn't like them, did you? And I had about 8 or 9 of these hens, and there was Rose liked to just sit down with the hens and watch them, and Sam would come down and just sit, and they would just kind of peck around him and whatnot. I think there's some pictures of that. I'll see if I can get them off my phone, and I put a load of pork scratchings on the floor, and of course the hens, they all just dived in, and he had a bit of a moment of like, that's my food, and so yeah, that's the only 2 occasions that I can think of that really that he's kind of shown any sort of aggression. He never shows it. He's so laid back and lovable, really. He's a very loving dog, and he loves to give that to other people as well. Every time we see people out, he's always going up to people. He tends to go up to people more than he does dogs, really, and another little story. Oh, this will make you laugh. It's called the sniff test. Okay. So when I got him, I was single at the time, and I was kind of, this was a few months after I got him. I kind of was into the whole dating thing, and yeah, that was disastrous. I'll be honest, it was disastrous. And but anyway, I was on the likes of the usual thing, Tinder and the ones where you have to swipe right and all that sort of stuff. And I kind of got chatting to this lady, and she said, I said, well, why don't you just come around for a coffee, and I thought, you can meet the dog and just check she was okay with dogs, and she was. And she came round, and we kind of, as soon as she came in the door, this guy had his snout everywhere, and it was awkward. And I don't know what he could. His obviously a dog's sense of smell is kind of hundreds of times less of a human, and I couldn't figure it out. And he just had his snout in places where you never want to know. And I tried to pull him off at the point where I literally just had to, just say, Sam, you're going to have to go in the kitchen for a bit and just, and that lovely little snout you've got. But anyway, and no, it kind of, the relationship kind of didn't really go anywhere after that. Sorry to that lady. It just one of those things. It just kind of fizzled out and nothing really happened, and on all the rest of it. And and I kind of carried on looking, and then this lady popped up, and and I think my profile was brutally honest at that point. I think it was, and she sent me a message, and she said, "Love your profile, love how you come across." And what is it? What can you smell? And I said, "Oh, thank you so much. It would be great to, to kind of meet you." And she was in IT at the time as well, and so we thought, you know what, let's just meet up. So we decided to meet up at the Jack Rabbit pub. You know that one, don't you? And we were there we must have been at least 3 hours chatting, and we just sort of gelled and we bonded, and just had that that chemistry. I love the word chemistry because it's so poignant. You don't really even realize it creeps up on you, but when it does, it's like that invisible force that we just that we can't really articulate or explain. I can't articulate and explain it, but we just know that connection you have with somebody. It's wonderful, and we kind of chatted for ages. And anyway, the following week, I just said, "Oh, just come around for a coffee, and and you can meet the dog." And Shah, and it was Shah, and we've been together 6 years now, and we've only just literally moved in together. We've literally. When did I move? Oh, do you know what? I think I've been there about 9 months, 10 months, something like that. It's not been long. But anyway, Shah came round, and Sam just loved her to bits. He wasn't sniffing her. He was just engaged. His eyes were looking at her, and she loved him, and she kind of passed the sniff test. And I love that. I love that terminology. It's so, but so yeah, he's an incredible dog. And I'm really pleased, that some of you have asked after him, and I thought I would do this little video just talking about Sam, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Can't think of anything else, but I think the best thing really now is to bring in the photos and just show you some of the fun that he's had. There's some dogs outside running around, and so I'll cut the video short here, just with me talking anyway. So stay on, and please look forward to the next few pictures that are coming up. And I wanted to say a big thank you to YouTube, really, to allow me to have this platform to be able to do this, because these memories I'm doing now, I'll be able to see, and so many other people will be able to see for years and years to come, and it kind of like just immortalizes them, doesn't it? So anyway, enjoy the pictures. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. It's always a pleasure doing these videos, and I just love doing these videos. And so happy Friday as ever. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.